Here it comes.
God damn, the water fucking cold.
Better you than me, gentlemen.
Pulp Fiction 1994 isn't just a movie, it's a pop culture phenomenon that redefined filmmaking in the 90s. Directed by Quentin Tarantino, this film is filled with strange stories, wild behind-the-scenes details, and bizarre coincidences that most fans have never heard. From odd casting decisions to unusual filming techniques and unexpected trivia, the making of Pulp Fiction is just as weird and fascinating as the film itself. So, let's dive into weird facts about Pulp Fiction that will make you see this classic crime masterpiece in a whole new way. John Travolta's career comeback. Before Pulp Fiction, John Travolta's career was struggling. His glory days from Grease and Saturday Night Fever had faded, and he was mostly doing forgettable films. The weird twist is that Quentin Tarantino insisted on casting him as Vincent Vega, despite studio pressure for a bigger name like Daniel Day-Lewis or Bruce Willis. Travolta's performance was so iconic that it completely revived his career, earning him an Oscar nomination. It's strange to think that without Pulp Fiction, Travolta might have been forgotten in Hollywood history instead of becoming a star again in the 1990s. The movie was shot out of order on purpose. One of the weirdest things about Pulp Fiction is its non-linear timeline. The events are completely scrambled, meaning the story isn't told in chronological order. This wasn't a mistake. Tarantino designed it this way to keep viewers engaged and surprised. The bizarre structure allows certain characters, like Vincent Vega, to die in one scene and then reappear alive in another. While unusual for mainstream cinema at the time, this storytelling technique gave the film its unique style and inspired countless other movies to experiment with timelines afterward. The briefcase mystery. One of the biggest weird mysteries in Pulp Fiction is what's inside the glowing briefcase. Fans have debated this for decades. Theories range from gold bars to Marsellus Wallace's soul. Tarantino has never given a straight answer, adding to the mystery. What's even stranger is that the glowing effect was created by simply placing a light bulb inside the case. By leaving it unexplained, Tarantino turned a simple prop into one of the most famous mysteries in cinema history. Sometimes, the weirdest part of a film is what you don't actually know. The dance scene was inspired by real life. The famous twist contest between Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace is one of the most iconic scenes in Pulp Fiction. But here's the weird fact. Tarantino based it on real dance styles from the 1960s, especially inspired by Travolta's history as a dancer. Tarantino encouraged Travolta and Uma Thurman to improvise parts of the routine, creating a quirky and unforgettable moment. The strangest part? Travolta had actually been nervous about dancing again after so many years. Instead, the scene became legendary, blending nostalgia, humor, and style into one of the movie's most beloved sequences. Samuel L. Jackson almost lost his role. Samuel L. Jackson's role as Jules Winnfield is unforgettable, but weirdly enough, he almost lost the part. At his audition, Tarantino nearly gave the role to actor Paul Calderone. Jackson only secured the part after returning for a second reading, where he delivered his lines with such intensity that everyone in the room was blown away. His fiery performance not only won him the role, but also made him one of the most recognizable actors in Hollywood. It's strange to think that one of Jackson's most iconic roles nearly slipped through his fingers. The adrenaline needle scene was filmed backwards. One of the weirdest filmmaking tricks in Pulp Fiction comes during the shocking adrenaline shot scene. When Vincent Vega saves Mia Wallace from her overdose, it looks like Travolta stabs her chest with a giant needle. In reality, the scene was filmed in reverse. Travolta actually pulled the needle away, and then the footage was reversed in editing, making it look like he stabbed her. This clever trick made the dangerous stunt safe for Uma Thurman, while still looking intense and realistic. It's a simple but weird piece of movie magic that fooled everyone. Tarantino almost played Lance himself. The role of Lance, the drug dealer, was played by Eric Stoltz. But here's the weird twist. Quentin Tarantino originally wanted to play the part himself. He eventually decided against it, believing he wouldn't do the character justice and that he was already too busy directing. Instead, Tarantino gave himself the smaller role of Jimmy, who delivers the famous dead body coffee scene. This choice worked out perfectly, since Stoltz's laid-back performance made Lance unforgettable, while Tarantino still got his moment in front of the camera. The script was written in Amsterdam. Quentin Tarantino wrote much of Pulp Fiction while staying in Amsterdam. The weird influence of the city shows up in the movie itself, with Vincent Vega talking about Europe's quirky differences, like a royale with cheese. Tarantino loved Amsterdam's culture and atmosphere, and it became part of the movie's DNA. Writing in such an unusual environment gave him fresh ideas and helped shape the film's offbeat style. It's a reminder that sometimes the weirdest inspirations come from everyday life, and in this case, European fast food jokes became movie history. The movie won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. Pulp Fiction shocked audiences when it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in 1994. The weird part is that a movie filled with violence, dark humor, and strange dialogue went on to win the Palme d'Or, the festival's highest award. This recognition not only launched Tarantino into stardom, but also proved that unconventional filmmaking could be taken seriously as art. Many critics were baffled at first, but the film's unique style eventually made it one of the most celebrated movies of the decade. What started as a weird indie project became an international triumph. The movie changed independent cinema forever. Here's the weirdest fact of all. Pulp Fiction completely changed the movie industry. With its unusual structure, shocking dialogue, and indie budget of just $8 million, nobody expected it to succeed. But it grossed over $200 million worldwide and turned Tarantino into a household name. The film's weird, experimental style inspired an entire wave of independent filmmakers in the 90s and beyond. Pulp Fiction proved that movies didn't have to follow Hollywood's traditional rules to become cultural phenomena. Its weirdness became its strength, shaping the future of cinema for decades to come.